All right, so we are going to move one step forward, but probably to move a step forward, we need to move also a step back. We're going from Modeh Ani to Birkot HaShachar, to the morning blessings. Again, as we said this recently, the vitality of the whole day, it's really set or received through whatever happens in the beginning part of the day. In the first few moments, first few minutes, first few things you do during the day, which is why Modeh Ani is so important, but also Birkot HaShachar is also very, very important, as well as sitting down and learning like we're doing right now. That helps a lot to set the day. So maybe we should do it every day. Then Mark will come every day.
Absolutely.
But then I have to wake up every day earlier, so I don't know if it's going to work out.
Asking little enough of you.
But so today, I'm not going to go without a paper. I'm going with a book, because we're going to start learning. In order to get to the Hasidic explanation of each of the Birchot of Birkot HaShachar, we have to get a little context, and in this case the context will come from the Shulchan Aruch HaRav, from the Code of Jewish Law from the Alter Rebbe, the section 46, which is called the laws regarding the morning blessings. We're going to go not literally to all of it. It's like only 11 laws, although some of them are long. We might skip some things, but this will give us some good context of what we're doing. Similar to what we did before, where this is more nigle, this is more the revealed part of Torah before we delve into Chassidut. And so, we know that the sages ordained that we have to say the morning blessings, and it's really in appreciation for the renewal of the natural order of the world and the natural functioning of your body and of the world, which is part of where you derive a benefit from. As we know, we have to say a blessing before we derive a benefit from something. And so we were saying, Matir Asurim, I can move. Pokeach Hebrim, I can see. Zokef Kefufim, I can stand. No, those are some of the morning blessings. Some are more related to us and our body, and some more in general, like Rokah Haaretz Alamayim, the fact there is land and not sea. Again, when the world was created, it was completely covered in water. And Hashem had to tell the waters, please move back a bit here and there so the land can come out. So the fact that there is land, that is more of a general blessing of appreciation, of thankfulness. And besides, as we're going to see, besides for the literal meaning of the brachot, there is a more deep meaning to each one. Okay, so part of what we are achieving here then is not deriving benefit from the world without saying thank you or without appreciating it. And this also helps us complete the famous quota of 100 blessings a day. You've heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
We have to say 100 blessings every single day. And the day, in this case, starts from the evening, so we count from the evening towards the day. So meaning, when we talk about 100 blessings in Shabbat, is Friday night and Saturday, not all Saturday. And this was something that was instituted by David Melech Israel, by King David. It happened at some point during the reign of King David that 100 Jews were dying every day for no reason, no apparent reason. And King David was investigating, and through divine inspiration, through Ruach HaKodesh, he understood that if he would make sure that Jews would say 100 blessings every day, everything will be fine. And that's how it was. And there are two allusions, two hints at the fact that we need to do this in a couple of psukim. One of them is, let me find it in Hebrew, Nehum HaGever Hukam Al. This is a pasuk in Shmuel Beis, which says, the words of the man elevated on high. And the numerical value of al, ayin lamed is 100, ayin is 70, lamed is 30. So the words of the man are elevated on high alludes to the 100 blessings. But even more famous than this is another pasuk, another pasuk, which is Ve'ata Yisrael ma Hashem Elokecha shoel meimach ki im leirat Hashem. And now Israel, what is Hashem asking of you? Just to fear Him. Moshe Mendel, join us. So what is Hashem asking of us? Just to fear Him. And there's a whole discussion, really, just to fear Him, that's the only thing to do. So there's a whole discussion of that. But when it says, Ma Hashem Elokecha shoel meimach, what is Hashem asking of you? It says, don't read Ma, read Meya. If you add an aleph instead of Ma, Meya means 100. That's the literal word for 100. So that's another allusion to the fact that we have to try and recite 100 blessings every day. And the Alter Rebbe goes on and tries to ease our stress. He says, 100 blessings, that's too much. He says, it's easy peasy. Why is easy peasy? First of all, if you say the Amidah 3 times a day, you have already
18.
not
19.
6, 7, 5, 7.
19 times 3 is
Halfway there.
57.
5, 7.
And these are how many altogether?
Right?
15.
You're running too fast.
Okay.
So do it step by step.
All right, so you're pretty close to
57 you have. Then you have 2 brachas before the Shema at night. That's 59. And 3 after the Shema at night. When you include the blessing Yiru Eineinu. Now the blessing Yiru Eineinu, we don't say it. So we have to find another one. Meaning Hasidim don't say this particular blessing. But a lot of other people after Hashomeret Amo Yisrael La'ad at night, they say a 3rd blessing. Anyways. But if you do count this, it's 62. At the evening meal, 8 blessings are recited. This is, of course, if you have a proper meal. You say Al Netilas Yadayim, you say Amoitzi, and you say the 4 blessings of benching, and you say a blessing before the wine that you use for Birkat HaMazon, and a blessing for after the Birkat HaMazon, and then you're up to 70. Don't worry, if you don't bench, but you eat enough crab during the day and you say brachos, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But let's follow.
Sandwiches, right?
Then when you're going to sleep, you say the bracha of Hamapil, and in the morning you say Al Netilas Yadayim Asher Yatsa Elokai Neshama, and now you have 74. Then you have the 15 more blessings of Birkot HaShachar that we're studying now, besides for these 3. So really, if you add these 3 blessings, Netilas Yadayim Asher Yatsa Elokai Neshama, and the 15 blessings of Birkot HaShachar is 18, we're up to 89. Then you have to say the 3 blessings before learning Torah, which is also, we consider it part of Birkot HaShachar, but it's really right the next page after Birkot HaShachar. We say 3 blessings before learning Torah. And now we're up to, and then we said the bracha for tzitzis. We say Baruch She'amar, we say Yishtabach, we say the 2 blessings before the Shema, and the 1 after the Shema, and you get to 100. And you're not even counting tefillin, the fact that you go to the bathroom a few times a day, the fact that you have lunch, breakfast, snack, coffee, tea, blah, blah. So, again, on a regular day, if you just pray 3 times a day, all the prayers, it's pretty simple nowadays to get to 100 blessings a day. That being said, Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam she'akol nהיה bidbaro. I have to make sure I make my quota today. So
Yeah, really. You're about to He's off to a good start.
yeah, but I didn't mix it, so it was not sweet. Okay. Now on Shabbos, we're missing 36 blessings because the Amidah, instead of having 19 blessings, has 7. Yeah? So on Shabbos, you might feel you're in trouble. You're also missing the blessings of Tefillin. And so what do? Well, first of all, we have the 7 blessings of Musaf, so we get some back. Then we have 2 Shabbos meals. There's 3 meals on Shabbos, and if you actually do all the Shabbos meals, so you have to say Al Netilat Yadayim, Hamoitzi, 4 blessings after bracha. If you have to say benching on wine, and then you have Kiddush, and so on Shabbat. It says we're only lacking 13 blessings from the original one. This is again, if you don't go to the bathroom, you don't have a snack, this, that, you're missing 13 blessings. And you can compensate this by saying eating fruits or smelling spices. If there's not fruit or spices available, then when they say the brachot before and after each aliyah in the Torah, you have to pay attention and try to count them as your brachos. Now, ideally, you should say your own brachot, so eat fruits or whatever, but if not, you can count on those 8 aliyot, 8 times 2 is 16, you have 16 brachos. And if you even count the ones from the Haftarah, then you're golden. You don't even have to eat. Okay. And then again, this is all the first halacha, that's why some of these halachot are long. The hardest day to do this is on fast days. Because on fast days, there's no eating, there's no this, no that. Right. And if you actually think about Yom Kippur, where not only it's a fast day where you don't eat this, but the Amida doesn't have 19 brachos, so then you're in big trouble. Yom Kippur is actually a pretty hard day to reach the brachot, unless you're sitting next to Moshe Mendel with his etrog, and every few minutes you say a bracha and you smell it. So what the people do on Yom Kippur, if you really want to do the 100 brachos, if you smell things. Now you can just smell every 2 minutes. It says you smell, and then you have to make sure you forgot about it. It's not in your mind again that you smell, and if you go smell again, you have to say another bracha. And technically, there are multiple brachos of smell. There's not only one. Borei mineh besamim, borei atzeh besamim, borei isbeh besamim. There's different brachos. And I met once a Jew in Pittsburgh. Actually, he was visiting Pittsburgh. He wasn't in Pittsburgh, but he was visiting Pittsburgh during Yom Kippur. And he had like a nice set of little flasks with a bracha outside and different besamim with different brachot. So on Yom Kippur, he will go one by one, eat them, and you do that a few times a day, you get all your brachos. Yeah?
Usually somebody has smelling salts in case somebody is famous.
Yes. Any type of smell. I don't know if there's a medical marijuana counts or not. I don't know. Ask your local rabbi, your doctor, and if you're not in a state where this is allowed, then ask your government if you're allowed to do this. Okay. All right. So this is the first halacha. We have to say Birkot HaShachar because we need to appreciate the world, and this helps us get through 100 blessings. And this is what the Alter Rebbe decided to speak about this. We still have 4 minutes.
I think you have 7 you can squeeze in.
7 minutes, because David is not here. We don't need to hurry up now.
I can't get it right to the second.
Okay. Okay, the second halacha, and this might stress you out until we get to the actual thing that we do today, but this is what originally was done. Originally, you would say Birkot HaShachar at the appropriate time for each blessing. You wouldn't grab a Siddur and say all the blessings. You would say each bracha according to where you had to say it. So that's where it's going to go through now. This is not what we do now. He's going to explain that later. So when you wake up from your sleep, you say Elokai Neshama. You remember when we said that back in the day, before Modéani existed, people used to say Elokai Neshama when they woke up. And one of you asked the question of when Modéani, what was it you? When Modéani was composed?
I remember the question. I don't recall who asked it.
And I didn't answer because I felt I didn't know, and the reason is because we don't know. There is, we know where's the earliest Siddur where we found it, which was about 500 years ago, but it's not clearly known who is the author of Modéani. So when people would woke up, Elokai Neshama, you have to thank Hashem for giving you back your Neshama. When you would hear the rooster crowing, So you would say the blessing, Hanosen Lasechvi Bina, the one who gave the rooster the understanding to differentiate between night and day. Looking good. Fancy.
To look.
When you put on your shirt, assuming this is assuming you went to sleep and you sleep comfortably without shirts, so when you put on your shirt, you have to put it on while you're still in bed, because it's Neo's way to do it. And so when you put on your shirt, you say Malbish Adumim, the one who dresses the naked. And then when you touch your eyes, but you touch your eyes using your shirt, because you haven't washed yet, and you haven't washed, you cannot touch your face, you cannot touch anything with your eyes. So you put on your shirt, and now you can touch your eyes with your shirt, and now you can say Pokeach Ivrim, that opens the eye. Now I can see.
Before you did that?
This is how they used to do it. This is how they used to do it. When you sit up, you say Matira Surim, the one who frees the people who are bound. And now I'm not bound, I can sit up. I was bound, tied to the bed all night, now I can sit up. And you're moving your limbs, so you're appreciating this. When you stand up, you say Zokef Kefufim, the fact that you can stand. So your body was bent over all night, and now you can stand upright.
When did they say Pokeach Ivrim?
We just said it. When you touch your eyes, and now you can see.
When you touch your eyes, or when you just open your eyes?
Well, this is how he describes because I guess before you touch your eyes, you can't really see yet. Well, you need to clean them.
Okay.
No? Use the...
Yeah, right.
Again, this is not what we do today.
I know.
Just in case.
Seems like, okay.
Okay. Then when you put your feet on the ground, you say, Rokah haaretz alamayim, that Hashem let the earth show under the water, or over the water. When you put on your shoes, you say, She'asali kol tzorki, that you cover all my needs. This is the blessing we don't say on Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av when we don't use normal shoes. When you start walking, you say Hamechin mitzadei gaver, who directs the paths of the person. When you put on your belt or your gartel, you say Oizer Yizal Bigbura. When you put on your hat or your turban, it says say the bracha Oter Yisal Betifara. And good.
I would say 3 minutes. You can squeeze.
Now, why is these two brachos say Israel? Why we're not just thanking Hashem for shoes? Sorry, for the belt and the hat. Why we mention Israel? It says because the belt and the hat serve a different purpose for the Jewish people compared to the rest of the nations. The other nations wear a belt and a hat because they need it, because it benefits them directly as part of their clothing. But the Jews also use it for modesty and for holiness, to be able to pray like a mensch, and for holiness, taking into account that the belt separates the heart from the private parts, especially in the times when people would wear like a tunic and there was nothing underneath. So if you wouldn't want your heart to see your nakedness, you would put on a belt. Today we still use a gartel. Or even people who don't use a gartel outside, you still have a belt, or some people say the elastic band of your underwear counts as the same thing. Hasidim, we use a gartel. And we wear a hat because we don't want to have our head uncovered. Although again, originally, it wasn't a sin not to have a kippah on your head. That was advanced throughout the time. In the sense, we want to have our head covered as part of our modesty. And then when you wash your hands, you say Netilas Yadayim. When you wash your face, which you have to do every morning, you say Hama'avir She'ina Me'inau Dumam Yafapai, would take the sleeping from my eyes. Now that I finally washed my face, now I woke up. And you continue with Veyehi Ratzon, finishing with Hagomel Chasadim Tovim Le'amo Yisrael.
When would they say Kalo Asani Goy and Kalo Asani?
That's Halacha 4. That's Halacha 4, which we'll touch upon tomorrow. But you see how they used to do this. like, oh, I did this, that is, you were saying brachos every half a second when you were putting on your shoes, when you did this, that, you were saying brachot. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.